Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Pain. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the birds, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussing. Yeah, hey, I like to cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on her. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on her. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on her. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, right. To the nice end, yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Something Brody couldn't stand for, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the GOAT, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
That shit was so laggy for me. That wasn't like that for anyone else, right?
No, it was not like that for me.
My shit, literally, for the past that entire intro, it went now, and it did it the entire fucking intro. That's all I heard.
Something just broke for you. I'm not really sure, but welcome back, everybody, to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode 37. My name is Tycho. We are brought to you by Six Pack Coverage. Below me, you see McDilly. Next to him, we got the Wanderer, and above that, to my right or his left, whatever you want to call it, Snoop Luke. What's going on, boys? How you guys feeling today?
Better than you.
Yes, for sure. Having a better day than me, but my car is having a better time than yours. So,
Touche.
Yeah, Dylan got rear-ended the other day by some 17-year-old girls on their way to the beach.
First thing they said when they hopped out of the car. First statement that came out of their mouth. Great. Now there's going to be 1 million people at the beach. Said, you got bigger fucking problems than the beach right now. All right? Yeah, my
Dylan, what were you doing driving home at that time of day in the middle of the day when you should have been at school? What were you doing? Why were you in the car?
I had diarrhea and I had shit.
So you dipped out? That was the plan?
You better stop asking questions after that.
A question to the audience. Feel free to let us know in the comments. Would you leave school to go home to shit? Or would you shit in school? What would you do?
Actually, that's a great question because I think a lot of people, if they had diarrhea, they wouldn't do that in the school bathroom with a bunch of people in there, knowing how school is. I don't think they would.
Unless you know where the secret uncrowded bathroom is, I think I might have
when
to
there's
agree.
one
I'll
bathroom
blow it up.
in the
I
entire
don't care if
school.
every urinal being used. I don't care if I got the. I don't give a fuck. I gotta drop my load. I'm gonna drop my load. I ain't got time to hit the crib, but that was because I lived a good distance away. I ain't had time for that. So.
Okay, then you got to be in my situation, Jesse. You're in one school, one bathroom, and you have less than a 10-minute car ride away, and you know that you can make it. Would you stay or would you go?
I might go.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Luke?
Fuck all that extra shit. I'm just staying. The fuck?
Of course you are. Luke,
There you go, Luke.
actually.
There you go, Luke. Way to man up and
Luke
just
would be asleep
go
anyway.
take
He
shit.
could shit
Fuck's
himself
all this
while
extra
he's
shit?
sleeping.
Oh, I'm too scared to go in a public bathroom. Get out of here.
You know someone's gonna look under, over, or in your stall. At least
Bro,
once. You're in high school.
what?
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 Bro, high school's
What?
fucking wild. Motherfuckers bang on the stall. They see fucking shoes now. They want to touch your laces and shit. You see the videos? I don't play no shit.
No!
I have not seen the videos in high school bathrooms. I'm not hip, Dylan.
You gotta get hit. Motherfuckers
Not
are
hip.
stupid.
All right, with that being said, we will move on and stop talking shit talk and talk about something real quick before we get into today's podcast, and that is the autograph giveaway promotion. That's right, fellas. Me and Dylan decided to make a pretty decent investment here, thanks to the folks at Pristine Auction, 2021 Auction House of the Year. We are not sponsored, though we'd like to be. So Pristine Auction,
Sponsor
if
us.
you want to sponsor this video, be my guest. However, we did get a sports cards and autograph and memorabilia mega box from Pristine Auctions, and we will be opening this on Tuesday. That'll be a live opening. That'll be a live opening that me and Dylan will do. Make sure that you guys check out after the podcast the post that will be posted on Twitter and on Instagram to find out how to enter, and make sure that you're there live on Tuesday so that you can be involved and have a chance to win some autographed sports memorabilia from inside of this random mega box. So with that being said, we will get into the rest of today's podcast, starting with UFC with Snoop Luke. Let's get right into it.
Let's go!
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
Well, alrighty. Welcome to UFC with Snoop Luke. Let's go! Let's start it off with Nate Diaz, smoking a little bit too much of that good stuff, because this man is just speaking nonsense. This man tweets out, UFC was good with the fight in July. Is the whole roster scared or what? Now, we know we've been talking about McGregor getting called out a lot, but who else's name has been being called out in the last month a lot?
We've talked about him for a month straight.
Nate Diaz. What are you talking about? There's been so many people calling you out. Like, let's get this fight situated and let's get going, eh?
Yeah, Nate, I'm not going to lie. The amount of people that have named out you, you're right next to McGregor, where every week on the podcast, a new person has tried to call you out, but you're too busy pissing on UFC facilities and smoking fucking crack, bro, to figure out what's going on. Not actually, but I'm just saying that he could be.
Well, all right. We got John McCarthy. I don't know if he's smoking the same shit Nate is, because he had an
With 12
outlandish statement. Yes, he had an outlandish statement. Outlandish, bro. Would I mind seeing Nick Diaz against Kamaru Usman? No, I wouldn't. Other than this, Kamaru would stand with him until he started to get lit up, and then he's gonna go and use his wrestling. This man thinks Nick Diaz would light up Kamaru on the feet.
Did he watch the last fight that Nick Diaz had?
I do not think so.
There's no way.
I really do not think so after that statement.
Like,
Because that's how people were talking before that fight happened and before we actually saw what he was.
don't get me wrong. Everybody loves Nick Diaz, but at the same time, after the last fight, at some point, I don't see him fighting anybody that's going to be really either in their prime or in like the top of their game, because they have nothing to gain from beating Nick other than just because he's Nick Diaz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And Nick's trying to get a title fight and everything because he's old and stuff. He wants to fight meaningful fights, but unfortunately, that's not how it works. And we're just not going to go and throw and just see a slaughter fest just for a title fight just because you want it. Other people have been here the whole time working their ass off. I mean, not his fault. He's been suspended for a long time due to very stupid reasons. But, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But we got Dana White talking about why he does not get involved with boxing. He goes, every time I try to think about doing something with boxing, I go, why would I want to do this to myself? You know what I mean? Why would I even want to dive into this nightmare? That's why I haven't really done anything. It's a broken business that is absolutely a nightmare to try to fix.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He does not like boxing, eh?
He does not. He does not like how it's ran.
Well, at the same time, I think that's probably a big reason why Dana got into. Okay, here's probably the best way I could put it. When boxing was at the prime of their game in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, correct? That would be what you would call the prime of boxing, right?
You know, I'm not the biggest boxing expert, but I guess we could go with that.
Yeah, that era. The UFC was probably created in a way, and the reason why Dana was probably the founder of this company was because he knew that boxing already had their own fan base, their own way of how they run it, their own way of fighting, and their own way of doing things. I think that because he does the UFC in his own style and his own certain way, he doesn't want it to almost have anything to do with the other sport because he knows it's two different fan bases, as much as it is similar.
He saw a shitty system and created his own in a way better way.
Correct. And that's why I don't think he's going to want anything to do with the other system, being that the biggest reason why he got into it with the first place is because he probably loves fighting, like boxing, but he did not like anything to do with that system.
I have one comment on this particular topic y'all are mentioning right now, and that is, did you guys watch both of the UFC fighters that went and boxed? Did you guys watch those fights? Or at least see the highlights of those fights?
But I don't watch boxing, so not really.
Were they not pretty bad fights? Like, they were pretty shitty fights.
The one I watched was
Dana saw the crossover is not the move. And so I think that that's another great reason not to get involved. You've seen the crossover. It doesn't work.
Agreed.
Well, moving on to TJ Dillashaw taking some hypocritical shots at Paddy Pimblett.
Good. Finally, somebody fucking worthy taking shots at this guy.
I don't know if you'd call TJ Dillashaw worthy.
Worthy enough to where the people that Paddy have been fighting, TJ is a big step up. I don't get how you feel about that.
Because the CEO of EPO goes on to say he's just loving diabetes. That's like a recipe for disaster or for destroying your body. I guess there's one thing when I look at it. They can promote him the right way and do all this good stuff. And he's got some stuff to grow and get into the higher, I'm not even going to attempt to say this word. I don't even know why he chose to say this word. It is ridiculous. But just get into the higher aspects of the UFC.
Okay.
But if you keep the same work ethic that he has now, he will never be a champion. You know, that's a crazy statement coming from the man who had to shoot up on EPO to win himself a title.
Bugs, that's a very good point. One thing I will say about Paddy that I agree with is the man is a fucking shapeshifter. I've never seen a man gain so much weight. And then I just saw a photo of him the other day, and he now is like probably maybe 3-4 days away from being back like in shape, not underweight, not in the weight class, but like back in shape. I don't know how the fuck he does it,
but he does it.
It honestly is astonishing. I will give him full credit for that. He abuses his body, and then he completely abuses it in the other aspect of getting in shape. But it's ridiculous.
Well, he replied and goes, "Is this fella messin' at TJ Dillashaw? Used to sell t-shirts with his fat face on it saying Fat Tyler on when he came out of camp. Don't forget your own past, you sausage. Cheating little juice head. You'd never have won the belt without them steroids, you fucking mushroom."
He called up a sausage and a mushroom.
Now, if you just read that in Patty's voice, this gets even better.
I'm not gonna lie. The one thing I love, and the only other person on the planet that does it is Gordon Ramsay. They'll just call people foods, bro, and the way they say it in their accent will just be so fucking funny, man. And it's great. I'm not gonna lie. And at the end of the day, Patty and TJ is a fight I want to see. That's a fight
that would be a fight I want to see.
That should be made down the road, and it would be, like we said, a good step up for Patty because. Not saying the competition he hasn't been fighting hasn't been good, but they haven't been good. Yeah, I mean, they haven't been good.
I mean, he's also kind of just started in the UFC. He's not going to be touching the very top of the top list at the very moment.
I'm just pointing it out, man. I'm just
kind of have to climb up the ladder a little bit. But moving on to Jorge Maslow going after Conor McGregor, like very fucking hard. Some would almost say desperately going after McGregor.
This would be person number 9 on the McGregor count.
It would. But this man, he took it to a whole nother level of desperate. He's just basically saying he knows I'd kill him in the cage. He knows the man I hit hard. I won't come to hug. I have a little size, although now he's shooting up and putting up steroids and all other things in his body, but he's still a little boy. I would love to fight at 170, but I don't want to wait anymore. If he wants to do it, I'll break his face.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I got knocked the fuck out by Usman.
I just want to say right now that I agree with you in that statement right there. You know what I heard? I didn't hear anything really you just said. This is what I heard. I'm at a point in my career now where I don't know how many more fights I'm going to have to continue to stay relevant because I just kind of got knocked the fuck out and then I lost to Colby. So can you please pick me to be the one you fight? That's what I heard.
No, that really is. McGregor responded. An absolute pigeon brain this guy is. Stupid beyond belief.
The insults are great.
Then
who the fuck is that guy?
Conor's so good, man.
Maslow replies, "This pea brain is the biggest fight of your life. So you're either too scared or too stupid to get this check."
Shut the fuck up, Masvidal. Shut the fuck up. Nah.
Masvidal's the bigger money fight?
Bro.
What? Huh? I think he has it a little fucking backwards.
No. Is that it? I'm not gonna lie. Bro. He's trying to get fame, and McGregor ain't gonna pick him. That's it.
Yeah, that's really not it because he also goes on to say he is not going to fight. The UFC's offered him this fight. It's not going to be good for the Conor McGregor brand or his cheap-ass whiskey to lose to me. So that little bitch has to do what he has to do and just take to Twitter and talk shit. Dana White called it a long-ass time ago. I'm too much of a man for him. Too much of a size, as Dana says. And it stuck with him. But at the same time, he can't do nothing about it because he knows it's true. Bruh. Was Masvidal, Diaz, and McCarthy in the same toke sesh or something?
Yeah, I am not going to lie. I have no comment because it's bullshit. What he's saying is bullshit. The only person that believes what he's saying is him. And the last time I bought into this bullshit, it was against the Colby. He did the same thing against Usman. He did the same thing against Colby, bro. I'm not playing this game with Jorge again, bro. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're not fooling me a third time.
I mean, he's never really fooled me. I've always knew what he was, but he always had the chance to prosper. But he's just been falling off the ledge more and more lately, and it's just not looking good.
Right?
He's gonna get knocked.
Yes, that was an exact replay of when he fought Usman.
Exactly, bro. Well, there's a lot more sweat that went.
But we do have a fight that's been announced. mean, it's kind of already been announced, but we got a new
Pretty
date.
big one.
It's Marvin Vettori versus Robert Whittaker, September 3rd at UFC Fight Night in Paris.
This is a pretty big one. I'm pretty interested to see Robert Whittaker fight someone that isn't Adesanya.
Yeah, I want to see if Vettori has actually more to his game than just hug against the cage.
If Vettori tries to make this the type of fight that I think it's going to be, I'm going to get so fucking irritated. Because I swear I think he's going to try to slow this bitch down, grapple him, keep him against the cage. Because that's what he loves to do. Now I'm going to be half asleep. I'm going to wake up and he'll win by decision.
But moving on to Fight Night 207, we have for the co-main event Dan Ige going up against Movsar Elivov.
Can I take
It's a
Movsar by
minus 400.
Can I take? I'm going to do a Luke favor here. Give me Mozart round 1. Round 1.
You know, I'm going to take Mozart by decision.
He's going to win by submission, though, round 1.
He is going, you know, Dan Ige is not as easy to put away as you think.
No, I actually am not going to lie. I thought that Ige was going to be, when I first looked at the screen, I saw Ige, and I went 3-10. But then I saw who he was fighting.
Yeah, but part of me, because it's Ige, wants to take the upset.
Do it. Take it.
I'm smashing the upset on Ige. Plus 310. Fuck it. We're doing it. Give me him. I want him.
Sounds like a plan, man.
But moving on to the main event, we got Alexander Volkanov, who is a minus 160 going up against Chorzino Rosenstruck, who's a plus 130.
I think we should be on the same page for this one. I would be kind of shocked if we weren't.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little this one's a big 50-50 for me.
It is a lot tougher because last time, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure you rode Volkov and I rode the opposite, and I got the win and you got the loss. But
yeah, they're both coming off big losses. They both keep flip-flopping and losing to people who are higher ranks than them.
I'll take Volkov. Yeah, I'm going to take Volkov.
You know what? This is where I get back on track with the record because give me Rosenstruck!
You're going to be so mad if Volkov wins, and he cost you 2 times because you went against him, and you had him, and he fucked you over twice. But yeah, I like that. All right, that's two meaningful fights that I now am more excited to watch. Thank you, Luke.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Because that's all we got for UFC. Poof. Poof.
NBA.
All right, coming up next now on Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, we will move into the NBA playoff update. We'll get Jesse back in here and start talking about the matchup that we have here for the NBA Finals because, yes, indeed, the NBA Finals are set. And with that being said, the Celtics have defeated the Miami Heat. And for the past 3 NBA seasons, the team that has eliminated the Miami Heat have gone on to win the NBA championship. If you want to go back, that would be the Raptors in 2019, the Lakers in 2020, and the Bucks in 2021. The Celtics have now, in 2022, been the 4th team to defeat the Miami Heat in the playoffs. Will they be the 4th team in a row to beat the Miami Heat in the playoffs and win the NBA championship? After defeating the Miami Heat, let me hear what you think about the Game 7 performance by the Celtics and how you think they will fare up against the Warriors. Luke, we'll go to you first.
All right. Well, you know, I was watching that Game 7. You know, that's rare. I'm watching a basketball game.
Wow.
But I watched it, and I was going crazy for Boston. because they're my new team now because the Suns got eliminated. So I have to by law because they're my other team in the finals. And then they're going to win the finals because they just beat the Heat. And you know that track record. Ty just said it. So give me Celtics in 6. I can't really give you much more than that because my knowledge of basketball is not that much.
Fair enough. Well said, Dylan. We'll go to you next. What do you got on this series?
I have that Jimmy Butler, first and foremost. Want to just give a shout out to him real quick because he played phenomenal this series. Bam finally showed up with him in Game 7. But it wasn't enough because I'm most happy for Al Horford, who has been one of the biggest factors that a lot of people didn't see coming through. And I also just think that the biggest key in this game isn't going to be how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown play, because I'm honestly not worried about those two right now. The people that I need to play are Al Horford, are the Williams, and the Grant. Those three. Because I think that those role players against Golden State's role players, they're going to have to do a lot more just because of how I think the series is going to match up. But they I think are going to have the biggest impact for me in that series. Jesse?
So, I don't like how at the end of the Celtics game, the last 5 shots taken were all Marcus Smart, and he missed all 5 of them, which almost caused them to lose the game. They need better decision making, and they need to realize, people like Marcus Smart, that there's certain people that should be shooting the ball in clutch times. Unless you got an open basket, it's really not worth the time of day. But I commend him. But they almost lost that game because of him. But I do think if the Celtics can stay healthy, I do like some of the defensive matchups, and it could be a better series than expected. I got 6 or 7 low key.
Also, Tatum winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I don't think anyone's really surprised by that, considering that he was the main man for the Celtics, who averaged 25 points per game. And I don't think there was a game in that series where he had under 5 assists. So
He averaged like 27, 8, and 6.
also,
And with that being
point out
said,
to-
I'm going to talk about my boy Chef Curry for a second, who is now 21-4 in playoff series, which is an 84% win percentage, which by itself is absolutely insane. But the people that Steph Curry is ahead of because of that record is a little bit more impressive. Better than MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Larry, and Magic. Come on. Respect the chef.
when you see those numbers, it's very hard to not bet with Curry. And then you see the game that Clay had to finish the series, and then you see the way that Jordan Poole's been playing in the playoffs. And I'm the one on the other side of the take where, as much as I want to see 6 and 7, I have Warriors in 5.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to your senses. And also, I do want to give a shout out to both the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors on not only making it to the finals, but if you look at the rosters of both of these teams, these are two teams that were not bought. They were built. Thank God.
I also heard. Wait, hold up. I also heard that if the I didn't check fully in on it, but if the Celtics win it all, I think they break like a record, like a betting record, because of how their season went. I don't know.
All right, definitely figure out the facts on that one, Luke. I want to know more about that.
I have something else if you guys wanted to know. I just think it's a little fun fact about Steve Kerr and the Boston Celtics that I think that you guys might want to hear. And that is, in 2017, Steve Kerr said in an interview about running plays, he goes, "I've never made one play up. You just steal plays from the other coaches. Brad Stevens draws up really great stuff. And Dave Joger also runs really good stuff." So Steve Kerr basically admitted that most of his playbook comes from Brad Stevens, who was the longtime coach of the Boston Celtics. I just think that's very interesting. now that the Celtics are playing the Warriors in the finals.
Hey, I
Jesse?
love, he does run some nice plays. He does. I can understand why Kerr would do that. But that's definitely a factor in this. But they're still going to push past 5.
I think it's a big factor, actually, and it helps Celtics a lot because think about it. What do the Celtics have? They have their number one defense. If they know also what a lot of the plays the Warriors are going to have, that helps their defense also. So I think, yeah, I mean, if it were to help or play an impact in anything, it would help the Celtics.
It does not worry me at all. If anyone was wondering,
Stuff in the playbook. It's been a minute.
I got the stats. Just so you
smack them on me.
All right. So the first off, the one who ranks first is the Warriors, who are plus 2,800 in 2015 to win it all.
Is this against like the beginning of the season bets?
To win it all since like yes.
Like, are you reading the before the season started what the odds were for them to win the title?
Yes, and they actually dropped to worse odds throughout the season.
For sure.
Because they started out in October 19th at plus 4,000. Then in January 20th, they were plus 6,000. February 17th, plus 2,500. March 1st, plus 2,200. April 12th, plus 900. April 30th, plus 600. May 31st, plus 130. They will almost double the Warriors' odds if they win it, especially if you took the bet in January.
If you were smart enough to bet the Celtics in January, I give all the props to you.
Cash out.
Garbage.
But, oh my goodness.
They were doing garbage at that time.
They were, and then they went on that run.
Dude, we talked about how
That's insane.
Boston was doing for the first time all year, and then after that, they went insane.
That's like what the Blues did when they won but when they won the cup, they're in last place and they just started surging and made playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Then went on and then won the cup.
I think the Celtics have a chance. I can't write them off. I was writing them off, but I realized like if Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Horford, like they got a lot of defense. They can make it difficult for the Warriors to score, and the Warriors live by scoring.
And they're going to continue to live by scoring, my friend, because if you got to put 2 on Curry, someone's open, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds if they have to start putting 2 on Curry.
Might be able to check him one-on-one enough to only get 20 points, 27, 30 out of him, which, yes, it's a lot, but you can't stop Curry from scoring. At the end of the day, he's going to get his. But slowing him down to create the tempo to play a better full game from your team is possible.
It is possible. And Curry has proven then again that you can hold him for 3 quarters, and if you slip off once in the fourth, all of a sudden there's 17 points in the fourth quarter or some shit. But with that being said, we got to move on and talk about some non-NBA Finals NBA news, and that is some Detroit-based NBA news with Mr. Ivy here.
Yes.
Quote, I want to play for Detroit. I'm a Piston at heart. No one cares about OKC, SAC, or anywhere else, to tell you the truth. And that is from Jaden Ivey on his landing spot in the draft via DL. So what do you guys think when you hear about that?
I'm the one I want to start because I'm the one that before this was out, I'm the one that said I wanted a Jaden Ivey in Detroit, and this is who I wanted before he said any of this. So this just increases that for me. You want to come to Detroit? We would love to fucking have you at the 2 with Cade, baby. So come on down. I love it. And fuck Sacramento. No one cares about them. Or OKC right now. He's right. Fuck them.
Who cares about Sacramento? They got Darian Fox, but when is he ever going to get help? Never. Like I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of Ivy, but I do like his athleticism and ability to finish at the rim. So he could be a good addition to the team. Spread out the floor.
But when's the last time anybody ever said that they wanted to come to Detroit? I feel like we should be really excited about
I
that.
feel like I give a lot of the props to Cade, my guy. My guy Cade is definitely putting some of that work in. And he's definitely being a lot of the reason that I feel like these guys are going to start wanting to come to Detroit, especially when you hear talks of DeAndre Ayton wanting to, possibly be landing in Detroit. And then another player, I believe, on the New York Knicks as well that we were eyeing to possibly get on our team as well. So there's a couple of guys that might be coming to Detroit, and it's all young guys. I think that is a big part of it, is all the young talent.
We love that.
Moving on in playoff news here, we have an NHL playoff update, and we're going to start with our guy Luke here because there was, as many of you noticed, because we noticed it in the comments section on Twitter, many of you commented on the fact that there was a controversial call in the playoff game that took place last night. Luke had his opinion. Others have different opinions. We're going to start with Luke explaining the situation, explaining his thoughts on it here, and I'll pop a picture up real quick so that it makes a little bit more sense. But in retrospect here, it was the Edmonton Oilers and Colorado Avalanche game. The game ended 8-6 in another wild game one for the Edmonton Oilers, who can't seem to not have a wildly insane game one. But with that being said, Luke, what happened? Why was there game one drama here?
Well, because Cale Makar decided to score a goal. That's why there's drama. Well, you see, he was skating into the zone, and his teammate was offsides, Nichushkin. And as he was trying to skate on sides, from this angle, it looks like he's touching the puck. But from a different angle, he's not touching the puck right there. He was touching the puck in a frame before when the puck was on the blue line fully. That's not in the zone. But he wasn't there. He was taking his stick off the puck because his teammate was still in the goddamn zone. And then as he does that, his teammate tags up before he skates in the zone, so he touches the puck again and goes down and fucking scores. It's not, you don't have possession if you're holding your stick off the puck to let your teammate tag back up.
I have something to say. During the course of delayed offsides, any member of the attacking team touches the puck or attempts to gain possession of the puck or forces the defending puck carrier further back into his own zone. That is delayed offsides.
Attempts. The only thing he was
Explaining how
attempting
it's
was...
not delayed offsides.
Hey, you said attempts, right?
Correct.
The only thing he was attempting was to not touch the puck so his teammate could tag back up.
Right, but in the aspect of where he was
Right?
on the ice,
Okay,
where the
then
call
what?
was, this would
If
be
right,
delayed
then what?
offsides.
Well, say that again.
I said in the aspect of where he was, right there, where the puck is, it would still be delayed offsides.
He is pulling his stick off the puck before, like milliseconds before that. That is like one of the worst photos, like, for the angles to show, because it doesn't show the actual puck and the stick
Then maybe
and how
it's just
far
the
apart
angle
they
that's
are.
fucking you.
Well, if Ty had the other angle that actually showed the puck, how far the puck was not touching it, the right angle, the angle that they watched when they made the right call on the ice, they couldn't even, it was just so perfectly timed how it happened, and they got the call right. It was just so perfectly, like, they couldn't even try to do that again if they wanted to. It's just how it happened. Shit happens in hockey like that. You do shit on the fly. You create shit on the fly.
I mean, it's controversial, and I could go back and forth the other way, but at the end of the day, they made the call that they made.
I guess it's up to your definition of attempted possession, because holding your stick off
the puck.
Whoa,
that's not saying my definition. It's the definition in the hockey rule book of the
NHL. I'm saying that as a general, everyone else's, what they view as, like, attempting to have possession. Because in my opinion, if you're holding your stick off the puck so your teammate can tag back up, you really don't have possession right there. You're not attempting to have possession. You're attempting to not touch the puck, which, I mean, it's not possession.
All right. With that being said, we will move on. I think that there's two sides to both stories. I happen to be on Luke's side because from the other angle, which Luke is talking about that I cannot pull up, that angle shows that he is currently not on the puck. From that angle, from the side, it looks like his stick is on the puck. It is not on the
our
puck.
Twitter.
It is on our Twitter at RideTheTide586 on Twitter if you guys want to check it out. But there is a picture out there that shows you that he is not touching the puck. He might have had control, but he let go of the puck when he needed to let go of the puck. And so the right call, in my opinion, was made. Luke, I think, agreed as well. Jesse, do you think the right call was made?
I do.
And Jesse does as well. So we will move on to the Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's not what Ben
predictions.
McNeil thinks.
That is not what Ben McNeil thinks, but Ben McNeil's not here to defend himself, I do not believe. So unless he is
Rangers
here,
in 7.
please show yourself. That's all we got. Luke, this one seems like it's kind of a perfect situation, kind of a win-win for you. How do you feel? How are you looking at this series?
Let me just remind everybody real quick.
I either get to see
since May 23rd.
Thanks, Dylan. Let me wait till I talk to you.
Yes. Well, anyways, I get to either see fucking my boys Tampa Bay go for a fucking three-peat, or I get to see myself in the finals. This is fucking. I like it.
It's a win-win by definition.
I
That's
like
a win-win.
this. I like this series. But that being said, I'm sorry, Mika, but Tampa Bay Lightning in 6. So I think there would be a little bit of fight from the Rangers, but
I think the Rangers are going to take it at 7 because the Lightning aren't going to close it out in Game 6, and then they're going to lose the home game.
You think Tampa fumbles the bag against the Rangers?
In their own home.
Against Luke's Tampa Bay Rangers.
yeah, you're crazy if you think Fassie's going to let up 2 fucking losses in a row.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to crush their three-peat dreams. They couldn't
In the game, in the fucking, like, the game-deciding game.
Yes.
Nope.
He's going to lose 6.
There's only
7.
You know, there's a new GOAT of a goalie that's been on the rise, and he's still on the rise, and he's staying there, and his name is Andrei Vasilevsky, and he's a fucking brick wall, and nothing's getting past him. They're going to the finals, and they're fucking three-peating!
No,
Yes!
they're not. It's just not going to happen, Luke. I'm sorry.
Keep it on. Keep pouring on the hay. Let's go.
Coming from, can the Lightning hater go next?
Let's go. Let's go. Pour it on. Let's go. It's going to be fucking amazing.
You know me. You know I love to talk my shit on Tampa Bay. I should have. You gave me just a podcast called Fuck Tampa. I could do it for an hour. So it kills me to say it, but Tampa Bay in 5. Vasilevsky is the best goalie I've seen in the longest time. They haven't played since May 23rd. They're well rested. They're going to be fine. Tampa, I hate to say it, is going to obliterate the Rangers in Game 1, send a statement, and they will win in Game 5. I don't like saying it.
That's what Tampa does.
Look, I can't believe you even said it. I can't believe that he even said it, but I have to agree with him because it's dynasty time. I mean, the trifecta is
They will lose the finals. Don't get me wrong. They're not winning the whole thing.
They could lose in the finals for sure, but I mean, they're at least going to make it there. So definitely Tampa over New York for me. I just don't think that the Rangers have the firepower to compete with the Tampa Bay Lightning, nor do they have the goaltending to keep up with the peppering that Tampa Bay is going to provide them with. So I don't think that there's any way that Tampa loses.
If you really ask me, the Rangers kind of got lucky that the Canes don't know how to win on the road.
Very.
Because I know they push back-to-back, pushing out from being down 3-1. But, like, you get a team that literally is 0-6 on the road in playoffs. Like, what the hell, Carolina?
You are not going to win a game. You cannot rely on only home victories to win a cup. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Just because you're one of the higher seeds and can get the home game 7.
Also,
I
want to point this out, which I think is crazy. They had to go to a tiebreaker for the Rangers Lightning game, and the Rangers are actually the home favorite because of regular season wins, which I did not think they would thought for sure you'd think it would be Tampa, but I think it's very interesting that the Rangers are actually the higher home favorite here. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, they have the same amount of points.
They do. They had to go.
It's literally by one game.
Right. Yeah. They had to go to a tiebreaker.
MLB update. Time with McDilly.
It's MLB time with me. Can we change the? But hey, look at that, huh? See how I did that? Anyway, so I want to start off with the first thing that isn't MLB, but you've always been watching the college baseball because the road to Omaha is officially on the fucking way. A lot of championship games that I've been watching. Luke, I'll give you a little shout out real quick because I know you have not been watching. Michigan won the Big Ten championship for college baseball. So
let's go!
Michigan won the Big Ten for football, for baseball, and for hockey. So I will give you that, and I will give you that Michigan dub.
Let's go.
I know that feels good. But in one of the best college baseball games, no, it was the best college baseball game I've ever seen. I turned it on to the 5th inning, and it was the Pac-12 championship between UCLA and Oregon State. Holy shit. So I was about to turn the game off in the final inning because I knew that there was no way that UCLA was coming back because it was a 9-run game. They came back and scored 9 fucking runs. Then we go to the 10th inning. For anyone that doesn't know, who's someone that I won't know. Jesse. They went to the 10th inning. There was a 9-run comeback. I want you to just guess the score of the championship game in the final, like final total score.
18-17.
You are close. Luke, you want to guess?
25-22.
Holy shit! Yeah, it was 25-22.
Bingo!
You got it right on
Bingo! Let's fucking go.
That's the exact. Looks on a hot streak. That was very impressive. UCLA came back on the road and then pulled off the 25-22 win. A lot of runs, a lot of baseball, 0 pitching. I will say there was 0 pitching. It was everything in the strike zone, and God, nobody could throw anything that had any movement. But it was fun to watch, and shout out to them for winning the Pac-12 championship. I will have a lot more college baseball coming to you shortly because, as I just said, the college baseball playoffs are starting like now. Next, going over to a catcher that you probably haven't heard him from a while because since COVID, he pretty much hasn't really been in the league. But most people notably know him in Toronto and in Pittsburgh, and that is Russell Martin. At one point, he was one of the best catchers in the game, former All-Star, former Silver Slugger, and this man, Russell Martin, was honestly for 3 to 4 years when he went to Pittsburgh and then went to Toronto. I remember when that happened. That was one of the biggest trades in baseball. So shout out to Russell Martin, who posted a pretty sick retirement video who finished it off with him in his golf gear. So that pretty much let everyone know that he is done playing baseball and now he is on to play golf. And honestly, it's a lot better retirement for Russell. A lot easier on that back. But no, this story doesn't end. Of course, this is the third podcast we are talking about it because here is what you need to know since the last time we've talked about it. Tommy Pham got a 3-game suspension, and then after they talked to him, and he said that he feels fine, but his right hand, he said he feels a little pissed off and hurt, but his right hand feels fine, taking a little shot. Then he also said that a lot of people don't know that the biggest reason why he slapped Jock Peterson is because Jock Peterson sent a meme into a group chat of the fantasy group chat. Social media, being as amazing as social media is, then found the fucking meme that he sent, and it was of the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres, and people throwing weights up in the air and catching them, and then one of them smashing on their head, and that being the Padres, showing that they started off so strong in the season and everything fell apart. So Tommy said that was basically also another reason why he slapped Jock Peterson, because he sent that video. Then on top of it, then when you think the story's over, he goes on to say that he was mad at Mike Trout because Mike Trout was the commissioner of this entire fantasy football league. Yes, one of the best players in all of baseball, Mike Trout. And he said that he was one of the worst commissioners that he's ever seen in a fantasy football league. So, this is my favorite story of the year so far. I'm not going to bullshit with you. This is great. The fact that there is piece after piece after piece. Does anyone else have anything to comment just on the situation? And it gets better. Fuck yes. Then the Mets, the very next game, knowing that they had Tommy or Jock Peterson at their stadium, they put that the total fantasy football disputes are over under 5.5. The Mets scoreboard, just like the Blues scoreboard or San Jose scoreboard, are known to troll the fans and are known to troll the players. We love to see this. Does anyone have anything to say on this situation? Because I won't lie, this is amazing.
This is fucking great. I love the shit talking fantasy. You got to keep the blood pumping, blood flowing. This is a sport. Fantasy football is a sport. You got to take it seriously. You're the GM of a team. You need to win. It's for blood.
I'll tell you right now, Trout probably isn't doing that shit again. He said, "Nah, you ain't making me commissioner." Next year he said, "Oh, I'm not playing this shit again. I know what y'all are gonna try."
A bad commissioner.
He's gonna go, "Tommy, you can be the fucking commissioner. You could join your own damn league." Probably gonna kick him out of the league. They're gonna be like, "Tommy and Jock, I'm sorry, y'all gotta go."
To be fair, a bad commissioner can absolutely ruin the league.
That's very true.
Hey, it could really fuck the league up.
Yeah.
Honestly, but
I love how we're all saying this. Tyler's over here like, are they fucking talking about me? Tyler, I promise you're a great commissioner in fantasy. No, we're not talking about you.
Well, why do you think I'm waiting until the end, huh? Let's hear what everyone has to say about what they think about commissioners, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta know first.
But Tyler, Jesse, you guys have anything to say about this? Just anything about this situation?
I think that this is one of the dumbest things ever. I think that the fact that it gets media attention is insanely hilarious, and that there's no reason we should even be talking about it.
Hey, how do you feel? He slapped him over that GIF. He said, "I'll take my 3 games. It's worth it."
Yeah. See, that's not something that should be suspendable, nor is it something that should be a news story, nor is it something people should even talk about. That's something that should happen in the tunnel, and no one should know about it. And boys will be boys, men should be men, and it should never have been a story. But that's my opinion.
It is a story. It's a damn interesting one. Dun-dun-dun. Next piece of information, and you could call it sad, or you could call it amazing. I'm going to call it sad because the Cincinnati Reds won a game against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. You wouldn't think anything of it. All right, the Reds have been low-key kind of hot lately. Them, the Dodgers, and the Yankees have actually been the hottest teams in baseball as of late. They haven't now won a game since October 22nd of 1975 at Fenway Park. that was the first time they won in 85, 95, 05, 15, almost 50 years. So I just want to give a shout out to Reds fans who are probably celebrating this because I would celebrate this. And also, I just want to say to every Cincinnati Reds player that played at Fenway Park in the past 40-some years and you guys couldn't win a game, fucking hell. That's a long time, and you guys are not as good as you think you are. Anyways, I believe that is all the baseball news that I have for today. And
All right, boys, let's get into the NFL news. The only piece of MLB news. What the hell are you watching?
Are you
What
watching
is going on?
I didn't realize you pulled this back yet.
I don't even want to know what it was, to be honest, but a woman was screaming, and we're going to hope that woman ended up being perfectly okay. The only thing that we did not get into in baseball was Correa being COVID positive, but Correa is COVID positive, so now you know that if you didn't know that already.
I didn't think we were being brought back in because we had more baseball news. Damn it!
Next up, we got some NFL news, starting with the Madden 23 cover being released. We have the cover shown right here. First off, first initial thoughts, boys. Is this what you expected? Did you expect the player? I think this makes perfect sense. I think this is the way that it probably should be. Will you buy the game? And do you like the cover? Let's start with Luke.
I will and I do, even though this game pisses me the fuck off.
Jesse.
I don't think I can commit to this game for another year. I love the cover, but Mutt is the most pay-to-play online service ever, and I just don't know if I can do it anymore.
He's done.
I have the time to grind. I don't.
I totally understand that, Dylan. What about you, my guy?
I'm going to buy the game because I buy it every year, and then after a month, I'm either going to commit to it or I'm going to fucking hate myself and delete it. But when it comes to the cover, I want to point out that this is how it used to be. This is when Madden games were released until 2000 when they started making it players. It was Madden on the cover, and I think the fact that he passed away, it's good. This is the All Madden edition. They also have a Standard edition and an MVP edition, and all three are just different photos of Madden. So I like that it's all Madden, no other players, and strictly dedicated to him, as it should be, because let's keep in mind this game is made off of the man himself.
Exactly that. All right. Next up in football news, we have Akeem Hicks possibly going to Tampa Bay.
No, he signed the deal.
Oh, he did? He signed it?
1-year deal. He signed it yesterday.
All right, Tom making another run here, picking up Akeem Hicks, former Bears defensive lineman. Boys, how do we feel about this signing for Tampa Bay?
I like it for Tampa.
I think it's good for Tampa, too.
That's great for Tampa.
They have Antoine Winfield, Conor Neal, Devontae David, Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea, Akeem Hicks. Where do they get all this fucking money? They're like the Rams. I don't understand this shit. Their defense is insane.
You should have smashed the Buccaneers for the Super Bowl when Tom was retired.
Did you?
No.
Oh. All right, well, with that being said, we'll move on.
I'm one of those people.
So one of the most infamously famous quarterbacks for just being an absolute goof-off is Jameis Winston. And no one knows how to mess things up more than Jameis Winston does. And Winston had comments on his new wide receiver, Chris Olave. Let me know if you guys have heard this one before. Stop me if you have. And if you have, I don't know when you hung out with Jameis Winston. But anyways, quote, smooth as the other side of the pillow.
I've heard that before.
Smooth as the other side of the pillow is not the saying.
What did that mean? He's cold?
No, he said it wrong.
What did
That's
he say?
the point. He said it's smooth as the other side of the pillow. Do you know the phrase?
What is the actual phrase?
You've never heard it. You've never used it.
None of you know it?
As cool as the other side of the pillow.
Oh.
I
He
figured
said
you're right.
smooth as the other side of the
Maybe
pillow.
he means he's smooth.
He's the only man that could
he's
mess up such a
chill.
popular phrase.
He means like he's smooth, like he's chill, like he's a vibe.
Then say he's smooth. Don't try to use a metaphor if you don't know the metaphor. Like, what are you doing? It's a simile, but you know what I mean. Like, don't do it.
He'd tell you that his
I had to tell it.
He'd tell you the other side of his pillow is smooth.
It'd be like I have a bumpy side, and then I got the smooth
spice it up
side.
a bit.
He's like the smooth side. All right, boys. Next up, we got Najee Harris bulking up. I am not
The mini Henry.
positive on what this man weighed when he got into the league, but at this moment in time, Najee Harris currently weighs 244 pounds, and that is a unit.
I'm pretty sure he came into the league at like.
He is bulked.
I'm pretty sure he came into the league at 225, 220.
220.
230.
230. Well, either way,
230.
his arms are a lot bigger.
I mean,
So this man bulked up. He gained at least 15 pounds. I'm assuming that's muscle weight. So that's scary.
Is he set up for an injury?
Hell yeah, he's a big running back.
That's
Saw
what I'm
Derrick
saying.
Henry.
I'm not gonna lie. The second I saw it, it's the first thing I thought of. I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna get hurt next year." I know it.
Nah, he's prepping up to not get hurt.
Oh, you would hope so. But Najee Harris is going to need to definitely take the reins this year of that offense while they're trying to figure out their quarterback situation. Next up, we have the Commanders are in talks of a new stadium. This stadium, I believe, is going to host about 55,000 people, which would make it the newest stadium in the NFL and also make it the smallest stadium in the NFL when it comes to capacity. Do you guys think that it's kind of weird that they would build a brand new stadium in Washington and knowingly put the lowest number of seats in that stadium?
I like it.
Do you think that's weird?
I think it's weird, but at the same time, FedEx Stadium has 82,000 seats. It's number 2 in the overall. And when's the last time they sold out a game? Even when they had RG3, I don't even think they sold out a fucking game because that stadium was just a shitter. So, I mean, if at the same time, if they're like, look, fans, that's not the biggest worry right now. If we can make it to where we can get sellouts, consecutive sellouts, I think that's going to be a bigger thing here. You're going to have a new stadium, so people are going to want to go. And I think that the fact that when that wears off in a couple of years, the fact that, you know, there's not that many seats, it's going to be easier for them to get sellouts, and it's going to be easier than to put on more promotional nights and shit like that, and it'll be easier and you'll make more money. That's what I think it's really going to be about. I think it's more like future thinking.
Anybody else have any comments on what they think about this idea? 55,000 is a really low number when it comes to NFL size.
It's more than the Coyotes will be playing in front of next year.
Oh, shut the fluff up. That is so different.
I don't even think you can compare.
You can't compare
hockey
NHL
stadiums
stadium.
to, like any
It's
hockey
impossible.
stadium to a football stadium.
Luke, how do you feel?
Well, how I feel is, you know, sometimes you just want to see your stadium packed, and how you do that, sometimes you gotta reduce the seat number. I mean, look at the Red Wings. They had the Joe, a lot smaller. They were selling out for how long was their sold out streak? I don't know. It was for a long ass time.
Plus another lifetime.
Yes, and even when they were doing shitty, it was still selling out. They move into LCA, way bigger arena, more seats. They're not selling out anymore. I mean, they get turned into absolute donkey, but to be fair,
that hurts it too.
You know.
But with that being said, I mean, it is what it is. Jesse, do you think 55,000 is going to be enough for Washington? Do you think it's too much?
I think it'll be just fine. Maybe they'll get good enough to actually sell it out.
All right, Jesse's talking nonsense. We're going to move on. Judy's charges are being dropped, and they're being applied right to Jesse Carter for talking nonsense about Washington finding out how to sell out that stadium. But Judy's charges are being dropped. Jesse, how do you feel about applying these charges right to yourself?
I already knew this was going to happen. I'm not surprised whatsoever. They were weak charges. I mean, it happened. But what is the league going to do with this? Are they really going to give this man a suspension?
They haven't even given Deshaun a suspension yet. How could they possibly give Jerry Jeudy a suspension right now?
Like,
Ain't no way. Dylan?
I'm happy, and I think that this man deserved to beat the case, and the case has been beaten.
Luke, you're last here.
Yeah, well, this is huge. Just the Broncos better hope he doesn't get too big of a suspension, or if he doesn't get one at all, because he's a big part of that offense, and Russ Daddy needs his weapon.
Jerry
Need this weapon.
have a monster year, in my opinion. He's going to be him and what's his name? Help me out, Jesse, or someone. Who's the other wide receiver there?
Cortland Sutton?
Yes, I think him and Sutton are going to have to be, not that they're at the same caliber as Lockett and DK right now, but they're going to be used at him. They're going to be their 1-2 for Russ.
They are going to be used that way.
Who's the other? I feel like they got someone else.
They have Noah Fant, Patrick.
They don't have
Fant got traded
Oh,
no offense
in Seattle with Locke.
is it Patrick?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Tim Patrick.
Yeah, Tim
Okay.
Patrick.
So, two more things here we have on this show. Luke, by the way, I found your wanker right there. Found it from earlier. You said it was deleted. I said it was never there. There it was. Anyways, Derek Jeter has joined social media, and he wasted no time messing with the trolls on social media. It wasn't exactly a troll, so to speak, but Derek Jeter was being trolled by Nick Adams, saying Derek Jeter is the most overrated baseball player in MLB history. And Derek Jeter replied saying, "This you, Nick?" with a picture of Nick Adams as a kid, looks about 8 to 9 years old maybe, and he is getting his jersey signed by none other than Derek Jeter. So welcome to social media, Derek Jeter. Thank you for starting it off the right way and immediately trolling people. That is what we love to see. But also keeping it on the baseball topic here, Cody Clemens made his MLB debut with the Detroit Tigers yesterday. It was kind of a big deal, seeing as his dad, Roger Clemens, was a former Detroit Tiger, and there was a lot of rich history there. Seeing the Detroit Tigers post here saying, quote, "They grow up so fast," with a picture of the family. And then when you see Clemens on the right side as an MLB player versus, just a kid on the field back in the day at Old Tiger Stadium, or actually at New York Yankee Stadium, that is. That's just really cool to see and really awesome for the family. Sadly, Clemens went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. But he is a promising young infielder. He's a second baseman coming in from AAA, and he was the 17th ranked baseball prospect in the MLB when he was brought up. Dylan, what do we think about this? How do we expect him to fare in the MLB? Is it just hopes and dreams, or should we be having high expectations?
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a trend lately where second-generation players have come in. Fernando Tatis, Vladimir Guerrero, Bo Bichette. These players have come in second-generational, and they've been going out of tear. So I hope that Cody Clemens can be the next guy that comes in and goes on a fucking tear for us. I know that his numbers in AAA are not anything special. He's batting .290. The OPS is the best thing about him, to be honest with you. He's not a big power guy. He's going to be more of a contact bat. But I think that the fact that they are finally calling him up is really good. Do any of you know the story of how he called up? If you don't, I want to share that real quick because I think it's pretty great. Perfect. Okay, so he was on his way to AAA as he was going to another game, and Lloyd McClennan, who is the coach of the AAA baseball team, told him to meet him at a Home Depot before the game. Cody said, all right. And then he pulled into a Home Depot, and in front of the Home Depot, he told him, hey, keep driving up to Detroit. You're going to the MLB. So he told him in front of a Home Depot parking lot, hey, man, you're going to the majors. And, that was a pretty cool thing for him. And then even though he wasn't able to get a hit, he got walked, and he had his dad and that whole suite of Comerica was just filled with his family. So high expectations for him, high hopes for him. Will he deliver as much as I think people are going to this year? No, but I think that he's going to be a promising prospect in the future because what are the Tigers looking for? They're looking for young prospects for the future.
It's been 6 years of that.
But right now, we are in our best shape with Torkelson, with Riley Green, with him. I'm not
Riley
talking
Green's
about.
not in great shape.
I'm not talking about the fact that we
His
won
leg's a
5 out
little
of our last
wonky.
6 games. Let's go Tigers.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's go Tigers.
The fact that we
I
have
support
to look
that.
at
I
those
don't
games
support
instead of
the
the whole season.
You look at every game. Every game.
You got to break it down a
Every
little
game's
bit
important.
smaller in baseball. I do agree because it is 162 games. But one more thing to finish off today's podcast, and that is our daily ranking of the worst MLB umpires that we've seen in the history of MLB umpires. And this one takes place in the Detroit Tigers game. Here's one for you guys. We'll get your reaction live to how shitty the umping is after this clip.
He's been great.
Yeah, he has been. Eric Haas on a delayed strike 3 call is pulled back, and that's out number 1.
Take a look here. I don't know. I'm sure. But that's not close. I'm sorry.
Is that Angel Hernandez?
I don't know, but it
Angel.
probably should be.
Angel's son.
It probably should be. That pitch was literally at the shins. This stuff is just absurd. And it crossed at the shins.
I hate it.
But that being said, there's your daily shitty umpire of the week, boys. It seems like there's no way you can't find one at this point. But there it is for you. With that being said, that's all we have today on Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode 37. Thank you for joining us. We are brought to you by Six Pack Coverage. Make sure you guys check out sixpackcoverage.com to find our podcast and many podcasts, as well as some sweet merchandise on sixpackcoverage.com. Until next time, I'm Tyco. Jesse's under me. McDilly in the corner. Snoop Luke on my side. This has been Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Do not forget to check out our social media pages at Ride the Tide 586 to make sure that you guys can get in on the giveaway. You don't want to miss out. Next week on Tuesday, we will be opening the Mega Box autographed and sports memorabilia. We will be giving away at least 2 of these items. Don't miss out. You guys are going to definitely want to be there on Tuesday on either Instagram Live or on YouTube Live. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Maybe we'll do both. I'm not sure. Make sure you guys are following us. And be sure to stay tuned and stay updated. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Road to
Ride the Tide
100.
Sports Podcast. Road to 100. Peace.